believers. She then became so engulfed with the Spirit, you'd fully expect Jesus Christ himself to open the heavens, swoop down to the river, and hug her. Now, with the church's band and choir making a joyful noise on the bank of Jackson Creek, Emma waited to be dipped along with 6 others. Each of those waiting in line swayed hypnotically to the thumping of the bongo as the water swirled around them. Any other day, my own shoulders would have moved involuntarily to the rhythm of the fiddle, the twang of the banjo, but not today. Not when my instincts whispered something was wrong. It wasn't like Scott to miss work. He has a sister in Ohio, I said in a hushed tone. Maybe we can check with her. Grayson glanced in my direction, the exact destination of his line of sight skewed by his Oakleys. I've got to call in to his parents. Hopefully we'll hear something tomorrow. Cole huffed, the universal sign of teenage boredom. Mom, I told you, school's been out 3 weeks. He's at the beach partying. Maybe he was right. Being the middle of May, the grade schools still had a few weeks left, but Brighton College had closed its doors for the summer. Although late spring in the North Carolina high country competed in beauty with the autumn, college kids found more joy in hot sand, waves, and endless beer on the other side of the state than in the flowering rhododendron and mountain laurel of home. Aside from being a college kid, Scott was also an avid hiker and backpacker. Even if he didn't go to the beach, he could be on a trail somewhere, off the grid for a few days. But surely he would have carried his cell. If he was somewhere he couldn't get a signal out, he'd have let someone know where he would be, what trail he was hiking. That was rule 1 of the outdoors. With Emma still in line, I looked away from the baptism, glancing around the hollow. Clusters of wildflowers surrounded our spot at the river, giving the gentle slope a splash of color and sweet aroma. Though the water from the creek emanated a musty smell, it was home. It was roots and family. About 40 of us, Doretha's past and present foster kids, gathered every year in late spring at the same spot for a reunion and baptism service. Those with partners or spouses or kids brought them along to share in the occasion, strengthening the ties that made us family. Those waiting in line to be baptized, like Emma, pulled at their robes, clutching them at their sides to keep the material from floating to the top of the water. Some of the children giggled as they let their frocks rise, only to tug them back down to their sides. My red-headed Emma fidgeted with her gown as well. She was a good kid, more mature than her 12 years. She'd taken on the role of big sister naturally last fall when I'd adopted Ivy after her own mother died. From the distance, I saw Emma studying the brownish-orange mudline marring her white robe. I wanted to tell her it would be all right. Like the supposed sin she felt she'd accumulated in her 12 short years, the stain would wash away. She'd convinced me to let her be baptized. Not that I opposed it. I just wasn't convinced a pre-teen could comprehend the true meaning. I wasn't even sure I understood it. Perhaps Emma had fallen more under Doretha's preaching than I had. As I watched the water flow downstream, my thoughts flowed back to Scott. If he had a reason to want to disappear, I didn't know it. I saw him every Thursday at the office when we transferred the bundles of papers from the printer's van to his beat-up SUV. We chatted about the weather and about school. A junior at Brighton, the next step was Wake Forest Law School. He had plans. Cole sighed again, then tickled Ivy, pinching at her chubby thighs. How long do we have to stay? I'm supposed to meet Paisley later. Apparently, Scott wasn't the only one who had alternative plans. We are staying till it's over. Ivy's giggle turned into an